Sheets and Fingers presents the Arcadian College, or the Electoral College for the states, because democracy sucks. It's high time we do this. This is how we save the republic, right here, is the Arcadian College. Our founding fathers despised democracy. That's why they created a republic. And in a republic, you attenuate the popular vote. That's what republics do. They knock down the craziness that comes from the cities. Cities are the enemy of liberty. All of the social pathologies that we have to fight every day come out of the cities. People get crazy in the cities. And the popular vote, or the city vote, the urban vote, is really the puppet vote, because you become very monolithic and very tribal when you're in a city environment. You have the mouse studies where they showed, I'm not going to go into that much detail. There's a website you can go to look at all this up. But they did the mouse utopia studies, and they found that very tight, and it was a bogus study in terms of overpopulation, because the world is not overpopulated. There's tons of territory that you could live that no human beings even visited. But in close proximity, people get crazy. Animals get crazy in close proximity. Now, for the House of Representatives, our founding fathers wanted direct elections because you're very close to the candidate. The Senate, the state legislatures chose the senators. This is the Constitution that our founding fathers handed to us. Then that Dick Woodrow Wilson came along, that commie Woodrow Wilson came along, and they had the 17th Amendment, which then made senatorial elections the popular vote. Rather than the state legislatures selecting them, the popular vote selected them. This essentially gave us the Roman Senate, because now every senatorial election is a national election. And then the president, the way we attenuate the puppet vote with the president is we have the Electoral College. Why? Because as you go from the House to the Senate to the president, the candidate gets further and further away from you, so you need greater attenuation. Okay? Cities determine who wins elections. And it's radically unfair because, again, the cities are the hotbeds of pathology. You get craziness in these cities, and that's why the America seems to be becoming crazier all the time, because these cities are dictating the policy. But as you can see, this is Georgia. And you had Purdue going against Assoff. Should be Ashoff. You had Loeffler going against Warlock. Of course, Warnock. But see, if you count the counties or the districts, here we have the counties. Purdue won 128 counties, and Assoff won 31, and Warlock won 31, and Loeffler won 128. But Georgia has 2 Democrat senators. Why? Because the cities determine who wins, because it's one man, one vote. The Arcadian College changes how votes are tabulated from one man, one vote to who wins the most counties. See, now there's no way in the world that Georgia can ever be blue. And I think that the Arcadian College should apply to all statewide offices. So you'd have a red governor from now until the end of time, and you'd have 2 red senators from now until the red of time. And then this is Pennsylvania. And you can see clearly that whoever runs for a governor or any statewide office and the Senate, the Republicans are going to win Pennsylvania every single time, because Pennsylvania is a red state based on counties. If you base it on one man, one vote because of the density of the cities and the pathology of the cities, the DEMONRATS going to win. I'd rather have a cowardly Republican in office than an insane DEMONRAT anytime. So states that would still go to the DEMONRATS would be Massachusetts, Delaware, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and even New Mexico, I think, is pretty much all blue. So it's not like they're going to, it's not going to be just a red wipeout. But it's going to be a hell of a lot more red in state offices and in the Senate. And that's where we have to fix the problem. Fewer DEMONRATS is the way you fix the problem. So if the Arcadian College had been in place in 2020, today the Senate would be 61 Republicans and 39 Democrats. Bingo. See, if the states take control of the problem and change the election laws, it's perfectly 100% constitutional. It's not, you're not deciding who votes, you're deciding how the votes are tabulated. Then the Republicans would own the entire country. This is it. This is, you go to www.arcadiancollege.org. It's Arcadian College. It's time to bring the Electoral College to the states. The times, places, manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. The legislature determines how the winners are determined. It can be the puppet vote, how we have it now, or it could be majority of counties or majority of districts. I would favor majority of counties, but the states determine how elections are held, including how winners are determined. Now, there is an override in the Constitution for very extreme cases, but deciding whether it's going to be the popular vote or majority counties is 100% constitutional. The Supreme Court would shoot down any challenges to that easily. So, if the Republicans are serious, then any state where you have, that's red, where you have a Republican governor and a Republican state legislature, enact the legislation now. It's easy to do. There are examples on this website. There's sample legislation on this website to show how it can be done. If you have a state where you have a blue governor, but you have a veto-proof red state legislature, enact it. Do it. You do it, you never look back.